It's a Bud Light Football Friday. That was George Payton yesterday. Oh, yeah. That's how you handle this stuff. You don't make these negotiations public and force people to take sides and ask who's being selfish and who's not. What you do is you say, the negotiations are none of your business, actually, and I'll let you know when something's done. Because that's what good organizations do. And to the Bonitto point, I'm sure.
At the same time, I'm not going to defend Jerry Jones. But Micah Parsons was a hold-in, laying on tables and eating nachos during a game. I mean, Nik Bonitto's playing football, and he's under contract.
Sure.
And by the way, Micah Parsons was under contract.
Yes.
He had a valid contract where he was supposed to show up and play football. That's all I'm saying.
Here's the thing, though. I'm sure you guys saw the same thing that I did.
It takes two to tango, takes two to break up.
When this trade went down, they announced that immediately with the trade was the extension that comes out to $47 million per year for Micah. I saw a whole bunch of people with the same sort of reaction, which was...
For Micah? As in the tile? For Micah?
I have no idea what that means.
You've never heard of Formica?
No.
Never in your life.
Yeah. Let me tell you how you've heard of Formica, Brett. Formica is it's not tile, by the way. It's like that fake laminate. It's that laminate coating that goes on the top of a countertop, a Formica countertop.
Okay.
I'm sure you've lived in an apartment with a Formica countertop.
Great.
You just didn't know what it was because you don't pay attention to the world.
And
what you do is you go along your way. You make your microwavable Stouffer's a lasagna and an IPA
from the earth.
And you said Formica.
That's for the last 2 weeks, so just stop it. And you said Formica.
For Michael Parsons.
Thank you.
Everybody saw the deal, and I saw immediately they went, wow, Bonitto's got to love this. And my first thought when I saw that was, if I'm George Payton and Nik Bonitto goes, good, I know what the market is now. I'm going to be like, oh, you think you're that
good for you, bud.
Have fun in free agency. I'm not going to play this game with you. Like, the Micah Parsons thing has no impact on Nik Bonitto as of right now.
Au contraire, mon frère.
Go ahead and give me the case as to why.
Well, I remember when Kirk Cousins and the Minnesota Vikings were doing the little dance. And
don't talk to quarterbacks. Quarterbacks are different. Don't give me quarterback comparisons.
I'm not talking about quarterbacks. I'm talking about market setting. That's all I'm saying. Now, you may be correct because with quarterbacks, you do this. Kirk Cousins getting $30 million a year. I'm worth 38. That's quarterbacks. Now, hang on a second. So that's a leapfrog situation. I'm not saying that Bonitto says, you know what, I have as many sacks as Micah. I deserve 48 per. I'm not saying that. I'm saying, but the market does reset a little bit. Not even a little bit, a lot. And everybody stacked up behind while they're not going to get Micah Parsons money. The market has been reset.
Yeah,
the Green Bay Packers just reset it.
Indirectly, it's going to affect all negotiations for that position moving forward.
Yes.
Because once a new number is set, the agents work off that new number. So to say it's not going to affect Bonitto is wrong. It will. He can't ask for that kind of money because he's not going to get it, but it's going to affect it. It's going to affect. It'd be foolish of an agent not to use it. That's a chamber in their weapon.
That's okay, fine. What I'm saying is this would be the equivalent to me of Christian Brown being like, did you see how much money Shea got? That's great for me. It's like, yeah, I don't think you're quite in the same category.
But that's not how football works. Football is about when is your contract up? What have you produced lately? And what do you think you hold? How old are you? All those factors are in play here. He plays the same position, relatively the same age, younger.
Yes.
And the same production last year. Better.
No. That's not true. He had a good year last year, a really good year. Bonitto did. Parsons has done it 4 times in a row, and that year from Bonitto was Parsons' worst. Was his
you're not going to get me to dispute that.
Yeah, you're not thinking about just free agent
I'm talking
contracts.
about how an agent is going to make the negotiations work.
How would Peter Schaefer do it? Peter Schaefer would say, hey, look, The market's just been reset. That's what a good agent does.
Of course.
What does it do, though, when you talk about the rules of the cap? What the hell was that, Vic?
I got to take this.
Okay. Talk to you.
Here, no, listen.
The rules of the game. What about franchise tag stuff now? The average
that changes.
Yeah, the average. The highest, whatever was it? The highest 5 salaries, the average of, and then you franchise the guy in on that. So if the Broncos wanted to franchise Bonitto, that just down the road that just became more expensive.
Hang on.
What?
The franchise tag, yes. Here's what I'm getting at. Nik Bonitto is not in that realm. Trey Hendrickson wants to get paid too. Trey Hendrickson knows he's not getting $40 million a year like TJ Watt is.
Yeah.
He's a very good player. He's not getting that because he's not that.
Well, he's also 30 years old. He's not his, mid. He's not entering his prime.
Moshe. Here's the thing. All I'm saying is this. If I'm George Payton and Nik Bonitto's agent comes to me now, he goes, all right, now we can negotiate. And he says anything that starts with a 4 on that first number, I'm going to be like, okay, then we'll have a conversation next year.
Yeah,
like
100%.
I'm not doing this with you.
Agreed.
Like,
there's no way you're paying Nik Bonitto a number that starts with a 4.
You have to be
I
reasonable.
wouldn't even pay a number that starts with a 3 because, again, you're talking about how much salary cap you're eating up. When you look at the Green Bay Packers now, oh, baby.
Well, they got a ton, but again, here's the point I'm trying to get at, is that Nik Bonitto has had a very good season. The year before that, it was okay. You don't base a year and, let's say, a half of good football off of what Micah Parsons has done. You're in different stratospheres. We aren't talking about the same person.
Agreed.
If Nik Bonitto wants to go out and have a 22-sack season, then you know what? Come back to me and we'll have a chat.
If he wants to be a Pro Bowler every year of his life, then we'll talk.
An all-pro.
All-Pro every year of his life, then we'll talk. By the way, did Vic say that's a chamber in your weapon?
He did. So, Nelly, you can grab that for later. But I want to stay on this for a second.
So do I.
I really feel as if I feel like Nik Bonitto at this point in his career is overvalued by Broncos fans. I do. I think he's very good and has the capability of being very good. But when you talk about committing long-term to somebody, I need more than a year's worth. That's what I'm saying. I see this as a very similar situation, Moj, to how the Avs felt about Mikko Rantanen. Mikko didn't get traded because they had some personal beef with Mikko. Mikko got traded because, from what I understand anyway, the Avs went to him and said, this is what we can afford to pay you. And Mikko was saying, no, I want more. And they go, well, you know what? Go see if somebody else is going to give you the cash. But I know this, I ain't losing you for nothing. I'm not getting free agency and having you say no to my number and then going elsewhere for free. That's not going to happen. Why? Because Mikko's very good. But you ain't that. Like, we talked about this. McKinnon and McCarr are in the category of, hand me the checkbook, and I'm going to write down the number, and you're going to sign it.
Correct.
Mikko said, hand me the checkbook, and they go,
No.
You ain't in that category.
Correct. That is correct.
You're good. I'm willing to pay you, but you ain't that.
And he thought he was 14 worthy.
Yeah.
And you had 2 other teams. So you had 3 teams total that said, you ain't 14 worthy. We'll give you 12. And finally, because he had no other options, because he was down in Dallas, I'll take the 12.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fine. Okay. Well, whatever it takes. Okay. Because he could have gotten that. That's water under the bridge. I don't want to talk about it.
But I'm just saying for comparison's sake.
I completely agree. And at this point, Broncos fans, don't be angry because I love Nik Bonitto as much as you do. If the deal were done today, Nik Bonitto would not get a contract that started with a 3.
Oh, I think he could.
No.
He could get like a low 3.
I wouldn't. Okay,
I
he
think
could. He might be able to, but I wouldn't.
You give him. How about this, Moj? There's 2 guys that I think would be really good comps for where he's at right now in his career.
Sweat.
I think if you say, hey, you're younger than this guy, and so if you want to go, maybe not totally, but you want to come back and give me a Hendrickson-like number, we can talk. George Karlaftis, the edge rusher out of Kansas City.
Yep.
He just signed a new deal. So his is
he's only getting 22 per.
It's $22 million per. Yes. Now, I would also say that I think that Bonitto has way more upside than Karlaftis does. Karlaftis is a very good player. He's had an 8-sack season last year. He had 10.5 the year before. Bonitto seems more explosive in that sense. But I'm like, somewhere in between those two sounds about right. But to say that they're using anything based off of Micah Parsons' number, I think is a little wild. Now, again, here's what I'd tell Bonitto. You go out and have a 20-sack season, we can start to talk in a much different tone.
I don't disagree with you. What I'm trying to tell you, though, is that the market has been reset in some capacity. So the money is going to go up for, I would say, for everybody who's going to come up. Everybody who's going to come up is going to get a little bit more, especially if you're talking about franchise tag. So what the Packers just did and what Micah Parsons is getting resets things.
It'd be foolish of an agent not to use it. That's a chamber in their weapon.
An arrow in the quiver, perhaps?
No, it's a quiver in their arrow, is what you would say.
That's the inaccurate one.
Vic just said,
I understand.
Chamber in your weapon.
Yes. But to me, what it comes down to is Nik Bonitto, very good. Nik Bonitto, I think, has the ability to be one of the players that we're discussing right now. But it's not there yet. And if he wants a contract extension, I'll be like, dude, I can give you the security of a long-term deal. I can give you a ton of guaranteed money. It's just not going to be in that stratosphere. And I would love nothing more, and I mean this, I'd love nothing more than if Nik Bonitto went out this year, had some ungodly season that turned the Broncos into a Super Bowl contender, and then came back and goes, hey, now where's my cash? And then you go, all right, you got me over a barrel.
Okay, but what you're talking about here is you're talking about Nik Bonitto earning, think of the names.
Myles Garrett, TJ Watt, like that type of money.
Nick Bosa, Max Crosby, earning this kind of money. Do you put Nik Bonitto in that category? TJ Watt, for crying out loud. I mean, that's a lot. It's a We're talking about the echelon of the echelon of the echelon.
Like, are you the standard of the position?
In the entire league, are you the best? Top 5 player. Top
and
6
he's
player.
not right now, but he's very good.
He's very good.
Again, the way that the Broncos go about business, too, is what separates this. We all know that Jerry loves the circus, but you don't like... I said this to Nelly earlier. When you go to the circus and you see the lion tamer, it's really cool until the lion bites back. And it feels like you're playing with fire when you're Jerry Jones and you want everything to be public and out there. And this was, I think, a casualty of operating business that way, of being that far out in the open. Because now who's the idiot? You. You know what's really similar between the Luka and Micah Parsons stuff that happened? Do you see a lot of people saying Micah was being a jerk during this? Because I didn't. When Luka got traded, did you see a lot of people blaming Luka for that? I didn't. It all became Nico Harrison's the biggest moron on the planet.
Agreed.
And Jerry Jones is a senile idiot.
Let me explain to the football fans out there how this is being viewed and how it is in reality. By the way, Micah, this whole laying down on the trainer table during the game and eating nachos, it's very childish. It's not professional. I understand what he was doing, but it was a bad look for him, and it was silly to do that around his teammates. Just silly. Even those out in the football world, and there is debate about this, Brett, on whether or not you would have traded Micah Parsons, because I think the vast majority of people would say I would never do it. Never, ever in a million years.
I'll tell you this, Moj. I don't think I would. I think there's absolutely a case to be made on why you can.
Even those who would make a case to say you can or they would for the right pieces and so on and so forth, even those people will admit that Jerry Jones completely screwed this up
no doubt.
for his football team.
No doubt.
Because of his ego. That's it.